Today we're going to take a look at potentially the world's best 16th scale RCs. Even at a first glance, you can see that they are straight up copying some of the best Arrma vehicles on the market. There's so much attention to detail on these RCs, but one of the coolest features is the fact that they're packed with a GPS. Baby Arrma Vortex, anyone? But it doesn't stop there. Yes, they also copy Traxxas. Does this look familiar to anybody? Underneath, we have the amazing roll cage, which is very cool. On top, the great looking skid plates, as well as more durable bumpers back here and spoilers. But check that out, guys. That is the hook lock key system that Traxxas uses on a lot of their bodies. The electronics inside are what really impresses me. We've got a very cool setup for our motor. It's got a heat sink, a fan to help keep it cool. Here is our receiver ESC combo, and up front we have the GPS, which is very exciting on this truck. Now this is a win and a loss. It's a smart battery with a meter, and if you press and hold this, it's very hard to see in the bright sun, but there are 4 little green lights that light up to tell you how much juice is left in your battery. Yes, this battery is proprietary, but the good news is it comes with a Dean's plug, so you can run any battery you want. Once the battery is in here, we lock it in place. I love the light bar on the front of this vehicle. I think it looks great. Yes, it does come with a wheelie bar, and most importantly, a wrist strap for your phone.
I think you got it a little too tight for the phone to fit.
All right, Abby, we're gonna just try to drive this around a little bit before we try out all the extra bells and whistles, just to see, will it drive well just as a vehicle on its own without all the extra features like the GPS. But here in just a minute, we're gonna test out the GPS and all those other features to see what this thing is and why it stands out. Now, check this out. If we just drive slow, it drives pretty well off-roading, but let's do a full throttle blast. Nice!
Oh, you got it!
Wheelie. But it does come with a wheelie bar in case you don't want to pop wheelies. If you're trying to do like drag racing with your friends with multiples of these to see who can hit the fastest speed, that wheelie bar is included. We opted out of that obviously because we're doing like a lot of off-roading today.
Let's see how fast it goes, Nate.
Okay, let's do full throttle. I gotta kind of gear up to it, kind of wind up to full throttle. See if I can hit it coming toward us. You ready?
Yep.
These big rocks are probably gonna knock me crazy, but we'll try it. Here we go, full throttle. That's full throttle. And it's wiping out. Oh. Everything about this car feels like very high quality. It really does feel like it could be bearing the Arrma or Traxxas name. Let's try one more time to see if we can actually hit full throttle off-roading. I know this could do it on like a track or something, or a paved road. Here's full throttle, wiping out. There's full throttle, here we go.
Woo!
That's not bad, but I think, Abby, maybe that GPS might help to tell us how fast this thing is actually going. So you guys tuned in to see an RC car with a GPS that is a budget 16th scale vehicle. So let's see what this thing is actually capable of doing.
I know you guys want to see the GPS really bad, and so do I, but I need to drive this first because it looks so good. That's pretty smooth just with like 25% throttle.
It drives really well.
You were driving it crazy and bouncy, but I feel like this is pretty smooth.
Let's see if we can make it up Bash Mountain. Now the battery is getting a little bit low on this little guy. So it's got that working against it.
These new ruts that are right in our way.
Yeah, someone took their full scale vehicle right up Bash Mountain. Yeah. You can make it. Oh, if it makes it, I'll be impressed.
I gunned it too much. Okay,
Get that toilet paper off of there.
No, it's the coveted toilet paper. It's how we know how far up we are.
I don't actually know if that's really toilet paper, but it looks like toilet paper. Okay, let's see. Can it make it up Bash Mountain? If it does, it'll be very impressive. Yeah, there is this new challenge here, guys.
Yeah, we can't speed up, really.
If Abby hits it at full throttle down here at the base of Bash Mountain, that will throw us off. So she's trying to hit it at a very funky angle, and you made it up Bash Mountain. You totally made it.
I'm basically
You're up Bash Mountain. Only like 3 or 4 tries. No,
if it's not broken after that, I think it's fine. Wow,
Okay.
it survived. That was intense.
I'm impressed. There's full speed. Very fast little RC. Very capable, very tough. And guys, I am excited to connect the app and see what the GPS is all about. Now here's a very interesting thing. Let me get this a little closer. And when I was looking at the vehicle very close, I noticed, Abby, This little button on the side of the transmitter, when you press it,
what in the world?
makes the truck go. You just click it once and it goes.
Why?
I don't know. It's like a throttle button. I've never seen it. You can press and hold.
Is it like the NOS?
I don't know. It's just throttle. It's another way to go full throttle. That's all it does.
That's weird.
So everything on the transmitter is pretty normal. It has throttle dual rates, steering trim, and steering dual rates. Our light button is up here on top. And I think it's time to see what the GPS is all about.
I really have my doubts that this is gonna work. The box shows a picture of it like mapped out. We'll see. I think I need my Bluetooth on. The instructions, garbage. After turning on the transmitter, click the Bluetooth on the top left corner to connect. Okay. Searching, select device. It says connected.
I feel like Iron Man.
You look good.
Oh,
That is fancy.
lady? Anybody? This is pretty neat though. From the screen, we have the ability to turn our lights on and off. That's kind of new. That's a first. Also, you can look and see exactly where we are for all of you stalkers that want to know where we live. That tells you the road name, and we're not going to let you see that right now. And then if we flip over to GPS mode, satellite view, that's pretty cool. So I can see that we're surrounded by woods. Then that's all fine. It'll track the car and that's pretty cool. But if we hit this, it's going to show us an active speed meter. So let's go, Abby. I'm going to press start on the stopwatch, and that doesn't just keep track of the time, but it also tells us the peak speed and stuff during that run, that time that this is going. So let's drive this around a little bit. I'm also looking down at my wrist. I can see we're going 8 miles an hour, 7 miles an hour. It's actively keeping track of how fast I'm going. Let's see how fast I can get this to go. I'm going to focus on the vehicle and not my wrist. Okay, let's go. Off-roading, peak speed. There's full throttle. Oh, it's wiping out everywhere. And it's not just like how fast the tires are going. It actually has a GPS tracking it. So watch this. You guys probably saw the needle moving, but the number for the speed was not moving. So it's not just a cheap little gimmick, it's actually working. Nice, saved it. So let's do a couple more speed passes and see how fast we can get it to go. Now it's very rough on this terrain, so we're not setting any speed records. It's just kind of to show the GPS meter working. The rocks are not 16th scale friendly, are they? These are giant. These are like boulders for this. See, I'm going 16 miles an hour. You can adjust it to kilometers an hour, but we switched it to miles per hour. Nice. Oh my goodness. The skid plates are working overtime. Whoa! You are crazy. Okay, now when we hit stop, actually when we pause the time on the app and then press the stop button, what it'll do is pop up and say, hey, we ran for 1 minute 22 seconds. Our distance traveled was 0.16 miles. And then we also went a max speed of 17 miles an hour and an average speed of 7 miles an hour. You press the X in the corner and that resets the whole system. I think that's really cool. I've not had anything other than some of our higher end Traxxas vehicles and some of our higher end Arrma vehicles that'll do that. So for a 16th scale, like off-brand, straight up copying these other big brands, I think that's really cool. Now, even if we don't hit that stopwatch, it's still kind of keeping track of our max speed at the bottom, and it's giving us telemetry. Guys, check it out. When I steer the vehicle to the right, the little bar at the bottom goes to the right depending on how far I steer it over. Same with left. And then there's a fuel tank on the left side too, telling us how much juice is left in our battery. That's absolutely amazing. Now what I want to look at is the little map in the corner. There should be a dot here for us. There it is, we're the blue dot, and you guys can see the car moving on the app. It's actually pretty cool. This comes in way more handy with drones than it does RC cars. Right. But it tells us where the car is in relation to us. I was hoping this was going to be kind of like a Tesla. Like you could map, wow, like you could mark on the map where you wanted to go, and then it would go. I was hopeful for that too, but this is a step in that direction. So I think that's really cool. If this car... Self-driving RCs. I was thinking this might be able to do that, but I'm still impressed with all the technology packed into this. And it's not just a cheap gimmicky vehicle. This vehicle is actually extremely high quality. I'm really surprised by this. Usually these 16th scale things are lacking in quality, but this one looks really good and it has really high quality parts. Let's turn that light on and off. Look at that. I can do it from the radio, or I can do it from the app. Check that out just by touching the little light. And if I do it from the radio, does the light turn on in the app? Yes, it does. So it communicates really well. Aluminum is where aluminum is needed, and the shocks are massive on this thing. I love the skid plate, the massive oversized bumper with the lights installed. They're not just cheaply done. the huge bumper on the back, and the Traxxas-esque lock key system, as well as, see on this side, the body actually fell out of that. But if you have it set up properly like it is on this side, it helps keep a lot of rocks and things out of there too. It's got a fan keeping that ESC cool. This is a really overly packed full of a ton of bells and whistles, and the best news is, by the way, it's four-wheel drive, we didn't even mention that. The best news is, I think this comes in right around $120, $130 completely ready to run. We see things like this, lesser quality, less features, for even closer to $200 sometimes, and this one really impresses me. By far, the most technology, the most features packed into one of the best RC vehicles of its size and 16th scale. It's a massive win if you ask us. Even the dog bones are oversized. This is not taking any shortcuts where they could. It's a very quality vehicle. Like the GPS or not, this is still a really impressive vehicle. There are a variety of these in the description box below. I've noticed they have brushed and brushless versions, and as you saw, it's not just an Arrma Vortex, there's all kinds of others like the Creighton 6S, among many others. So all those varieties will be linked in the description box below, so whatever your cup of tea is, they're down there. I just want to say a massive thanks to God today for getting us out to record this video and share this experience with you guys. Without him, we wouldn't have anything in our lives, and I just want to say thank you. Also a massive thanks to our Patreon supporters, because we couldn't do what we do without all of your assistance and your help and your support, and each and every person watching this video. If 16th scale vehicles are your thing, we'll have another 16th scale RC vehicle video popping up right about now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you there.
Bye.